Yo, what is up guys? Jamie from Jamie's Detailing. Today we are talking about all the different air tools that I use for professional detailing. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. So earlier this week, one of you guys gave me a call wondering what air tools do I use for detailing. Specifically, what detail spray gun do I use for detailing? And he was mentioning that he's having a lot of issues with this particular spray gun. This is the Centro pneumatic spray gun from Harbor Freight, and it has a tiny little 0.6 little opening, a little orifice on this sprayer. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with these sprayers, these are just simple paint sprayers that we kind of use in the detail world with our air compressor in order to apply different dressings and tire dressings and all that kind of stuff when we want to use something that's a little bit faster than a spray bottle or applying it by hand. So these things are super nice, and they also leave a really nice finish when you guys use something like this over, brushing it or something like that, because it really, gets into all the little cracks and grooves and crevices and stuff like that. This one right here, I had a ton of problems with as well. So, and my biggest problem with it was the fact that it's constantly the orifice on here was constantly clogging with my tire dressing. So I actually upgraded, or bought a different one to try out. It is just about the same price. I think it's like $8 more maybe. I think it was around 25 bucks. This thing is much better, and it works way better for detailing. Now the reason it works so much better is because it has a 1mm orifice instead of that tiny little 0.6mm orifice. So this allows all the whatever dressing that I end up putting in here, which is typically Aqua Gloss by Superior Products. I really have not been getting any clogs with this particular sprayer, and I'll leave a link to this exact sprayer. I just got a cheap one off Amazon. It was about 25 bucks, and they also have two different models. One has a metal actual little guy right here, and the other one has just a simple little plastic paint reservoir. This is typically used for paint, but this is where I actually, put in all my Aqua Gloss. Let me show you guys that real quick. But, obviously to fill this thing up, it's really easy. You just take out your Aqua Gloss, whatever you guys are using, and I just spray it squirt it directly into here, and then it is ready to use. So it's super nice, super easy to fill up, super quick to use, and it's way faster than applying it by hand, and even faster than applying it with like a sprayer, and it leaves a nice finish, because this kind of... Woo! I was not expecting that to come out, but it leaves a really nice finish on your actual, like if you're doing tires, it leaves a really nice finish on your tires, because it actually kind of atomizes or aerosol-ishes your tire dressing, or whatever dressing you're putting in here. You can also use this for your leather dressing, your interior dressings, whatever you guys want to use this for, whatever you guys want to spray out of here, you guys can put in here, and you guys can spray it. So, but this leaves a super nice finish on your leather, on your actual tires, whatever you're using it on, because it actually atomizes and kind of mixes up the product. And when it applies it onto the tire, it's not only just applying that wet dressing onto your tire, but it's also kind of atomizing and drying it on at the same time. So I definitely love using this thing over the Centro pneumatic one from Harbor Freight. It doesn't get clogged like the one from Harbor Freight, and I like that it has the plastic reservoir on it versus a metal reservoir. I noticed that the metal reservoir from Harbor Freight, that one, when you leave your dressing in it, it obviously corrodes over time. So after I had that thing for a while, between it clogging all the time and the inside of the cup getting all nasty looking, I just decided, let's go ahead and get one of these things with the regular plastic reservoir. I know some of you guys might like the look of the metal reservoirs, but the plastic one does work way better, and it doesn't get kind of like that oxidization on the inside of the metal cup like the Centro pneumatic one from Harbor Freight does. Now, I know I said I was going to go over all the actual tools that I use, and one of them is missing right now. I have it right over here on the side, and that is this guy. So I was actually using this guy earlier today, but this is my little Vortex Tornador air blaster tool. Now, most people know this as a Tornador, but that's a specific brand name of blower tool. This one is the Vortex air tool, and I've had this one for about 2 years now, and it has not failed me one time yet, guys. It is a little dirty. I could probably clean it, and it could use a little bit of, you know, an upgrade kit for the whole straw or the whole interior of this thing. So I probably should order an upgrade kit for it, but I think that's like under $20 for the upgrade kit. Yeah, we definitely need a little bit of an upgrade on here. But but this thing still works super good. I really have no issues with it. And I really just need to blow out a car. I don't need anything super fancy. Now there's a whole bunch of these out there on the market, guys, so I'll leave a link to this specific one. But again, guys, buy whatever you want as long as it has good reviews over on Amazon or wherever you're buying it from. It's probably going to be good to go. So pick one that's in your price, within your budget, and go with that. I went ahead and got this one. I think it's like half the price as the original Tornador, and it works just as good. I've seen a lot of other people recommend this specific one as well. So yeah, I'll leave a link down below for this specific blow tool. Moving on from the Tornador style blow tool, the other kind of blow tool that I would suggest you guys look into is something more like this. Now, this is just a simple blower that just blows straight air out. And this is really nice to actually blow out like under the seats or the cracks of seats, places where the Tornador cannot fit since it is so much thicker than this tiny little straw style one. So this one still definitely has a purpose, and this one honestly is not a necessity. I know a lot of people tell you you need a Tornador, but honestly, if you guys just need to simply blow out a car and you guys already have one of these, check this out first, and if this is enough to suffice, you guys really don't need to spend the money on this. But if you guys are working on a bunch of cars or multiple cars a day, that's where I would definitely suggest a Tornador, because it is a lot faster than having just that one typical little spray like this one has. This is the Tornador is basically the exact same thing as this, but the straw moves all around in here as you guys are spraying it, so you can cover a much larger surface area than you can with this. But this still definitely works really good for just drying out stuff, like different components in the car when you're cleaning around buttons and all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to blow it out a little bit extra, this works really good for that, and it really works good for blowing out all the super tight spots that you can't really reach and can't get into with something bigger like your Tornador. The next tool that I'm going to show you guys is not a necessity, but I definitely carry one inside of my vehicle, and it's more of a courtesy more than anything, and it helps me out with my IK sprayers that have the built-in Schrader valve right here. So since those have the Schrader valve or the valve stem built into them, I went out and got a little air chuck. This is just a tiny little one from Harbor Freight. Hopefully you guys, I hope I don't have to do this little YouTube thing with this camera. But anyways, guys, this thing has been working super good, and it's just a super cheap little $5 air chuck from Harbor Freight, and it has a tiny little quick connect fitting on it. So this works really good for actually filling up my IK sprayers, but I also use it to fill up my tires anytime that I need to fill up tires. And sometimes on a customer's car, it's just a nice courtesy to check their tire pressures real quick, since you're already cleaning them, applying the tire dressing, all of that type of stuff. If you notice a tire looks pretty low, you might as well just check all four real quick. It'll take you 2 seconds, and yeah, if you already got the air compressor and all that hooked up, then yeah, it's just a nice courtesy to say, hey, I checked your tires, they were a little low, so I put some air in them. But maybe take it to an actual tire shop and see if there's any issues with those. But anyways, guys, those are pretty much all the actual air compressor type tools that I use. But I want to show you guys one more air tool that I use quite often, but not all the time. But yeah, let me go grab it. The last tool that I want to show you guys is the Blow Air S. This tool I actually got from somebody here on YouTube, which is Danny's Auto Detailing. I got mine for free from him through a giveaway, but this tool has been amazing. Now, this is definitely not a necessity if you guys already have like an air compressor setup and all of that, but this tool right here is super nice to have. It actually blows warm air out of it. And one thing that nobody talks about with an air compressor setup is you guys need to have actual filters on your air compressor to filter out all the moisture and filter out all the oils and stuff like that. Now, when I first got my air compressor, I was never using one of those. And some days you guys will notice that there's actually moisture coming out of the end of your guys' air tools. When you guys are using your air tools, there'll actually be moisture in there. Now, using something like the Blow Air S, you guys aren't going to have any moisture or anything like that in your air. Even if you guys are not using filters and whatnot, which is always something you got to worry about with a regular air compressor setup. But the Blow Air S has an actual filter in the back which filters the air going into it, and the air going into it actually gets heated up just slightly, so it actually helps dry things a lot better than your actual cold air compressor that's blowing that cold air on the different components in the car. Specifically when you guys are doing like an interior detail and you guys just want to blow to dry things off, like when you're cleaning the steering wheel or cleaning the door panels and stuff like that, you want to blow those off when you're done and dry them off. This thing works way better than your typical air compressor setup. Any kind of blow tool is going to work a little bit better because you're not really going to have to worry about the air being cold. And this just works a million times better having the heated air or the warm air. But I wanted to show you guys this one for all my guys out there who don't have an actual air compressor setup like I have. But if you guys don't have an air compressor setup, this is an awesome option. You guys can still blow out the car with something like this. It doesn't work as good as the Tornador. The Tornador kind of like agitates almost because it blows so hard. This thing doesn't quite give you that agitation effect like a Tornador does, but you can still use it for your blowouts, and you can use it to dry all the different things that you guys would want to dry, and it works much better than your typical air compressor when it comes to drying things. So yeah, just another option, especially for those of you who do not have an air compressor. Now, those are all the actual tools that I use with my air compressor. If you guys want to see the exact air compressor that I use inside my vehicle, I actually did a video on that in the past, so I'll leave a link to that down below. But that air compressor is still in here to this day. It's working super good, and I decided to just leave it in until I have any issues with it, and then I'll put my Husky one back in. But for right now, this whole setup is working super, super nice. I love the air tools that I have. I don't feel like I need any other air tools having these ones available to me. Some of these air tools are not going to be important to you guys, and some of them will, but let me know in the comments down below which air tools you guys are going with and which ones you guys are going to go without. But anyways, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I was hoping to try to do something a little bit faster because I know last week's video, it definitely was a little repetitive. I am definitely sorry about that. We'll improve and get better as we're going on, but I appreciate all of you guys for being here as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.